Hey, how's it going, guys? Just wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to render a car in my Blender scene for the Full Circle Racing Design NCS 22 mod for NR 2003. I see a lot of people requesting renders, um, over at Stunod, but you know what? It is super easy. Blender's free, and you can be on your way to rendering your own car in just a matter of seconds. So I'm going to put the link to the scene in the description, as well as where you can get Blender if you don't already have it. I do use version 2.92. Not sure exactly what other versions are out there, but if you're using that version, you should have no problems with this scene. So let's get into it. You're going to be looking at these two windows right here. That's where you're going to do most of your work. When you first load up the scene, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be in solid view, looking at the Camaro. I like to use either material view or rendered view. Just a rendered view is going to give you a very clear look at what your render is going to look like. But say if you've got a little lower end system and it takes a little while for it to render, working in this view is going to be a little more snappy for you. So let's go ahead and use this view just to keep it simple. So you are looking at the Camaro, but let's say your paint is on the generic model. So you're going to come over here and you're going to click this arrow and you're going to drop down your menu. You're going to uncheck this box for the Camaro and you're going to check the box on the generic. And you could do that for all the other ones. Say if you want a Mustang, you got a Mustang. You want the Camry, you got the Camry. But we're going to work with the generic. And then now to load up your paint, go ahead and click on the body. And you're going to want to make sure it says paint job right here, because it is possible to click somewhere else and you're going to get the underside kind of shell that's under there. It's real easy to do that. So when you do click, usually if you click somewhere around the front here on the hood, you're going to get the actual paint job. And that's what you want to have selected and highlighted. Come down here into your materials. To move around, you're going to push down on your scroll wheel, and that'll let you pan around. And then if you rotate your scroll wheel, that's going to let you zoom in and out. So go ahead and move around, and then you're going to get over here. This is your material node for your base color. You're going to click on this open image, and then you're going to navigate to wherever your paint is. And it could be a PSD file, it could be a JPEG, a bitmap. I like working with the PSD, especially if I'm making changes to a paint, just little final touches, and I can just update automatically. Go ahead and use the PSD, and boom, there is your paint. It's loaded on and ready to render. You can go into the render view, and you can see what it's going to look like. Looking good. There's a couple other options in this scene, though, that I will go over. Let's go ahead and close out the cars, and then you're going to see you've got cameras and then some wheel options. So let's start with the cameras. We'll just kind of go through them here. You've got a nice front 3/4, you've got a high 3/4 head on, a rear 3/4 high left, rear 3/4 high right, a little bit of a lower rear 3/4 left, and then your side. And you can always move the camera around if you want. These options right here will let you move the camera, but if you want to stick with what I've got, I think I've got a pretty good selection of camera views here. So we've also got the wheels with turn different directions, and the reason for that is, say you are in this view here, it looks okay with the wheels straight, but sometimes you just want a little bit more flair to it. So let's go ahead and uncheck wheels straight, and we're going to check turned right, and you can see the difference it makes. It just looks a little cooler having the wheels turned. And then let's say you are in this view. Obviously that doesn't look great having that wheel turned there, so let's go ahead and uncheck turned right and check turned left, and that's just going to look a little nicer. So I think we are ready to render here, so let's go ahead and pick a camera. Let's pick our high front 3/4, and let's go ahead and turn those wheels back to the right. And then literally all you're going to do is you're going to hit F12 and it's going to render. Of course, the time it takes is going to depend on your system specs. Shouldn't be more than just I think mine right now is about a couple minutes. And we're just going to go ahead and let it do its thing. Alright, so we are done rendering and we're good to go. So we're going to come up here to Image and Save As. And you can name that whatever you like. It's going to save it as a PNG file because it's got that transparency. Let's go ahead and save that. And now you are good to go for the most part. You could just post that wherever you like and it'll just have a transparent background. If you want to get a little bit fancier, let's go over to Photoshop. Let's open that baby up. Here's your render. And so what you're going to do, this should be similar if you're in some other type of photo editing software. But this is what Photoshop's going to be looking like. And let's say I want blue background. Let's go ahead and make a new layer and just boom, you got a different color. You can play around with it, see what color works best. Sometimes I like some complementary colors. You can go ahead and even add a gradient to it. Just fancy it up a little bit. A lot of different things you can do to have fun with it. So that is pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any other questions on how to get this to give you your own renders. Should be pretty straightforward, but any questions you have, put those in the comments. Also let me know what other kind of tutorials you might like to see in the future. I'm still learning Blender. I may not be doing things the exact right way, but I do know at least what works and what gets good results. So go ahead and give me a like and subscribe on this too. Just want to make sure I can get this information out to as many NR 2003 users as possible. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks.